Welcome to the True Guy. Subscribe my channel please. The news from the remote islands of the Philippines usually tells of typhoons, poverty and isolation. But tonight there's a different headline, one you won't see on major networks. In the bamboo-walled clinics of Palawan and the Visayas, a quiet miracle is unfolding. Essential medicines are appearing on empty shelves. Solar panels power fridges for vaccines. Local health workers find renewed hope. This isn't a government program or a billion-dollar NGO, it's something more personal and mysterious. For months, clinics on islands like Linapacan and Calamian have received unexpected support, new medical tools, antibiotics, all from anonymous donors. The barangay health workers are baffled, but grateful. The support is steady, not a one-time gift, a lifeline, not a handout. Packages arrive quietly. No press releases, no fanfare, just the hum of a new fridge, the snap of fresh gloves. The question, who is behind this unseen lifeline and why? The answer leads us across the Pacific, to the high-tech hospitals of the United States. There, a group of American doctors, cardiologists, pediatricians, surgeons, have quietly funded these clinics. They seek no credit, no recognition. They are part of a hidden network, connecting the world's most advanced medical centers to its most isolated outposts. This is the story of that connection, and how a quiet act of compassion is changing lives on both sides of the ocean. Dr. Eric Jensen, a Baltimore cardiologist, spends his days under pressure, performing high-tech procedures. Yet each month, part of his salary quietly travels across the world, to people he's never met. He's a quiet philanthropist, troubled by global inequality. The same aspirin that's cheap in his hospital is a luxury elsewhere. He's joined by a secretive movement of doctors working in silence. For Dr. Jensen, anonymity is key. He wants the focus on those receiving help. He hopes local health workers feel empowered, not indebted. In this quiet, a movement grows, a secret network of compassion. What pushes a busy American doctor to help a place he can't find on a map? For Dr. Jensen, it was a late-night YouTube video, a shaky documentary filmed by a backpacker in Palawan. The video showed Maria, a midwife, managing a difficult birth by flashlight in a clinic with no electricity. She spoke calmly, showing her nearly empty cabinet and reused gloves, not complaining, just stating facts. Her quiet dignity and resilience struck Dr. Jensen deeply. Suddenly, global health inequality had a face. Maria. The contrast with his own high-tech world was jarring. He felt compelled to act, not tomorrow, but now. The video linked to a small non-profit supporting health workers like Maria. He clicked, donated, and left a simple, anonymous note. For Maria, thank you for your work. That night, he felt a sense of purpose he hadn't felt in years. The video did more than inform. It ignited a connection, and that spark would soon become a steady flame. One small act inspired by a stranger's story would ripple across continents. Dr. Jensen's journey had truly begun. Sometimes, all it takes is a single story to change everything. And for Maria, help was finally on the way. The world, it seemed, was listening, even if only one person heard. Weeks after Dr. Jensen's donation, a box arrived at Maria's clinic. Inside, a solar-powered light, sterile gloves, a blood pressure monitor, and a rechargeable headlamp. No sender's name, just hope. Delivered. The new headlamp's steady light transformed Maria's work. She could now treat patients safely after dark. The clinic, once a last resort, became a place of hope. More mothers came for checkups. The community noticed. Dr. Jensen received a photo. Maria, smiling, wearing the headlamp, holding the new blood pressure cuff. He realized his donation had bought more than supplies. It had restored dignity. This was partnership, not charity. A colleague supporting another across oceans. The connection was real, the impact visible. Dr. Jensen set up a monthly donation. Every month, a piece of Baltimore arrived in Palawan. He didn't want thanks. The photo was enough. Proof that a small act could ripple across the globe. It restored not just supplies, but the spirit of the person running the clinic. He was hooked. And so, a new chapter began. One act of kindness had become a lifeline. Maria's clinic was no longer alone. The world was closer than ever. Dr. Jensen's story could have ended there, a private act of kindness. But change is contagious. He quietly shared Maria's story and photo with trusted colleagues. He wasn't asking for money, just sharing inspiration. Another doctor, a pediatrician, was moved. She sent vitamins and a baby scale to another island. A surgeon overheard and funded surgical supplies. A quiet network began to form. No board meetings, no official name, just people who wanted to help. They created a secure online forum to post needs from the Filipino nonprofit. One week, a clinic needed a nebulizer. A pulmonologist from California stepped up. The next, a community needed water filters. An infectious disease specialist from Texas answered. Anonymity remained central. Doctors used handles like CardioMD or PedsDoc. They pooled resources, shared shipping tips, and celebrated small victories. A photo, a thank you, a child breathing easier. They were a secret society, bound by the belief that their knowledge and resources were for anyone they could reach. Compassion didn't need a corporate structure to be effective. The network grew, one whisper at a time. In the quiet corners of hospitals, hope was spreading, and the world was changing, quietly but surely. Sometimes, the most powerful movements begin in silence, and this one was just getting started. You might think this is a one-way street, American doctors giving, Filipino clinics receiving. But something unexpected happened. The American doctors began to change too. In the high-pressure world of US medicine, many face burnout and cynicism. The connection to remote clinics became an antidote. Dr. Jensen's monthly donation became the most meaningful part of his month. Photos from Palawan re-energized him, reminding him why he became a doctor. He felt less like a cog, more like a healer. The gratitude wasn't one way. He felt deeply grateful for the chance to help. Filipino health workers, long isolated, felt seen and validated. It wasn't just about supplies, it was about solidarity. They became partners in a global community of care. The American doctors were inspired by Filipino resilience. The Filipinos, empowered by trust and resources. It was a symbiotic relationship. Resources flowed one way, inspiration the other. Both sides were healed in the process. Across the Pacific, a new kind of medicine was taking root. Healing, it turned out, could travel both ways. After 2 years of anonymous giving, Dr. Jensen had to see it for himself. He traveled from Baltimore to Palawan, planes, vans, and finally a small boat. Maria greeted him on the beach. No cameras, no ceremony, just a smile and welcome friend. He toured the clinic, solar panels, a fridge full of vaccines, the headlamp he'd sent. He spent a week as a student, not a dignitary, watching Maria's skill and her deep community ties. His perspective on medicine was transformed. He left changed, a partner, a friend, a student. Dr. Jensen's visit marked a turning point. The relationship evolved from donations to true collaboration. The network now focused on building capacity and sustainability. They funded training for Maria and other health workers, advanced workshops in Manila, new skills in emergency care and community health. American doctors hosted video calls, offering real-time advice on complex cases. The partnership brought lasting change. Steady medicine supplies, lower child mortality, clinics opened 24/7. Most importantly, clinics became hubs of community resilience, teaching sanitation, nutrition, and family planning. This was about building bridges, not just clinics. American doctors learned to listen and understand local needs. Filipino health workers gained confidence and tools to lead. It was no longer top-down charity, but a horizontal partnership. Sustainable change happens when you invest in people, not just things. Together, they were building a healthier future from the ground up. The model was simple: respect, knowledge, and shared humanity, and it was working. The partnership was now a blueprint for change. This isn't a story with a perfect ending. The work is ongoing, and challenges remain. Typhoons can destroy clinics overnight, shipments get lost, some patients arrive too late. Dr. Jensen and his network have faced heartbreak and setbacks. The scale of need is overwhelming. For every clinic they help, many more struggle. The problems are vast: poverty, geography, neglect. The doctors know they can't solve everything, but alongside heartbreak, there's hope in small victories. A child recovers from pneumonia with a donated nebulizer. A mother delivers safely by solar light. Local health workers rebuild after every storm. This hope is tough, born from witnessing the strength of the human spirit. The network keeps growing, one quiet conversation at a time. Monthly donations continue. Partnerships deepen. The story is unfinished because the need is unfinished. We don't have to solve the whole problem to make a difference. We just have to start, reach out, connect, and do what we can. In a world full of loud headlines about division, this quiet story of cross-border kindness asks a powerful question. If a small act of connection can change lives on both sides of the ocean, why wouldn't we do it more often? The answer perhaps is up to us. The story continues, one act of compassion at a time, and hope quietly endures.